Alright, up and running, I think. Alright, we are live. I think everything looks alright. I think. Is there anything that I am missing though? Hold on. Should probably drop that. And that's on one there. Anyway, welcome everyone, Sanju Chia here, and it's the end of February. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. The 28 days of February this year completely threw me off because I'm saying in my head, yo, I forgot to do the Daima reaction review after my reach home from work, and then no, it's like, what? Wait, the last day of the month, I need to do the subscriber stream. So here we are. Honestly, it's been crazy, but yeah, as you can see from the title, Dragon Ball Daima is over. Oh, of course, shout out to everyone that's going to be checking out this stream during or after the fact. Shout out to you. Welcome to the stream. I'm your friendly neighborhood Uchiha. And I'm naturally, as well, your host. Don't worry, I probably won't have you guys for too long tonight. Ah, boy. How's everything looking? Is the stream alright? apart from probably the camera here. So in terms of the camera borders, my setup could have a bit more neater. But outside of that, see, yeah, we're looking clean for the most part. Hold on there. So the stream look. Doop, 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 doop. Alright, I guess things look quite alright based on what I'm seeing. Alright, so anyway, so yeah, I mean, I literally watched the final episode, as you can see here, maybe about an hour ago. And of course, I mean, I'm still gonna have my dedicated reaction review, you know, video. But all in all, what I'll say, just to, you know, in a nutshell, Daima is good. I had my issues with the ending, with the final episode, but wait, hold on. Why did this go out? Yeah. There we go. Alright, there we go. Yeah, one of the monitors just went off. But yeah, I had my issues with the final episode, so it's not like just fine, you know, it could do no harm type of a type of deal, but it was good. Like, I came out of the final episode feeling good. Granted, I did come out of Super feeling good, but at the same time, like, when I look back on Dragon Ball Super overall and how I felt about it compared to, say, coming out of Daima, and I mean, comparing 131 episodes to 20 episodes might not seem fair. Because who knows, maybe if Daima continued for 131 episodes, maybe some of the same issues may have popped up. But for the most part, 20 episodes, I thought it was a good run. Really thought, wait, hold on, is my mic? Yeah, mic's still good. Really thought it was a good run. Welcome to the stream, people. Tune in. Hold on there. Don't switch. Oh, one thing I need to do. I'll cut this card from over here. And then drop back that on the screen. Alright, so especially since I'm not gonna like keep you guys for too long, I do plan to hold on, let me just make sure this is paused here. I do plan to have the quote-unquote phone lines open for anyone that wants to join the Discord. Because it's what, 7:26 now? Maybe by 9 I wanna call it wraps. Make sure these scenes are Gucci. Yeah, thought so. I'll fix my shit live. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so all these scenes are pretty much good to go. Alright, so let's get into it. As I said, if you guys want to join the Discord, just jump on voice chat. It's all go, no pressure. Things Gucci there, yeah. Alright, yeah, so Dragon Ball Daima, like, what can I say? Where do I start? 40th anniversary celebration, right? And you know what's interesting? I was saying this during my reaction review. which probably should be coming up maybe Sunday or Monday. But the point is, like, it's so coincidental to me that the final episode of this series, right? Akira Toriyama's quote unquote last work, as a lot of persons would say, including myself, until, I don't know, probably proven otherwise. But the point is, it's so interesting that the last episode was essentially a day before, or literally on the day, which is the anniversary of his death. You know, like, that's so coincidental. That's so crazy, right? And I can imagine, like, coming out of this last episode, like the final scenes where everybody's saying goodbye. I know some person may be interpreting it as, oh shit, it's kind of like very touching. Kind of feels like that literal final send off from Akira Toriyama that way. Because, you know, coming out of this episode, the main issues I had were the continuity issues and the whole lack of using the merge bugs. Those are literally my two main issues. And of course, by continuity issues, I mean Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Apart from the massive lore that we got in this series, that definitely ties it into Super, like this last episode itself didn't feel like it did a good enough job, or a job at all, to really tie things up into Super, in terms of to explain, you know, why certain characters aren't using certain things. Of course, that's an issue I have, and it's in my reaction review. But at the same time, I'm also saying, I'm starting to question, like, should we put Daima in the same continuity as Super? Because, I mean, recent interviews that bigger YouTubers have covered with one of those big producers that's now at Capsicor, Akio Ioku. Probably getting the name wrong or butchering the name. But, I mean, they did kind of reveal that Daima was kind of Toriyama's version of GT. And if we're going along that train of thought, along with the idea this is to really and truly celebrate 40 years of the franchise, maybe it's not in continuity with Super. I know a lot of us are complaining and say since this is canon, yada yada, but are we sure it's in continuity? That's the next thing. Could be also another grand side adventure. So that's the thing. But we can talk about that more. But yeah, so Dragon Ball Daima, right? 40 years, exploring the demon realm, this whole area of the Dragon Ball mythos or universe that we've never really touched before. We've heard of it via like the Buu saga. Maybe you could make some loose connections or references to maybe some early Dragon Ball characters, maybe. But yeah, this series really was an opportunity to really explore it, and in typical Toriyama fashion, Demon Realm, it isn't really demon by our traditional perceptions, right? Because of course it's Dragon Ball, Toriyama is going to, you know, go against expectations, so to speak. So, you know, that was cool exploring it. Of course, I know when this came out, right? Or when the promotion for this started, or maybe the lack of promotion, but I know a lot of persons weren't really hype or so fond of the idea of the characters being turned back into kids. I didn't have a major problem with it, but yeah, it did kind of feel like it killed a bit of my hype. But it wasn't really like, oh shit, it wasn't like that depressing, I guess I'll check it out type of vibe. Like, I definitely was looking forward to it. And I didn't really mind, like, watching through, seeing them as kids, seeing the dynamics, seeing them getting back used to it. And of course, not just Goku this time around, but the whole cast. I think that maybe, that's probably one thing that I'm a bit disappointed in. Even though the whole cast was turned into kids, it's not like all of the cast was used. It's not like, okay, Roshi's a quote-unquote kid now. We didn't get to see any escapades with him, or we didn't see Gohan, etc, etc. Like, you know, one or two other characters could have been made use of. Even though we did have a nice team, Goku, Supreme Kai, Vegeta, Piccolo, Bulma. But at the same time, it just feels like, yeah, you turn the whole cast into kids, but we didn't really get to reap the full benefits of seeing like all the characters, right? Outside of say episode episode 1 and 2. So that's the thing, right? I mean, you turn all of the kids, but we don't get everybody really and truly for the main story. And you see, because maybe if this was a longer series where you could have quote unquote filler episodes or like a one-off episode, like in Dragon Ball Super, you had Goku had that after Universe 6 versus Universe 7, right? Where you had that episode, Goku had this issue controlling his ki, and for all intents and purposes, you could have really considered that a filler episode, like episodes like that. So since this was kind of more of a compact project, like straight on to the point, we didn't really get anything like that. So to be honest, I think overall this series we could have had like maybe 10 more episodes. I wouldn't want to stretch it, but 10 more episodes would have been nice, just to kind of get to see more other characters. But they would have had to have made an intentional effort with some things, because of course this series, while good, I feel better about it than Super, but at the same time it's like piercing issues. At the start I didn't mind like the first 1, 2, 3, 4 episodes. I mean, looking at the production value was really good, and establishing the lore, establishing the build up, all of that was good. But at some point when we're getting to like episode 5, 6, I'm like, yeah, we're getting some nice action pieces here. Goku versus Glorio, Goku having some skirmishes here and there using the power pole, but something about it, like after the first 3, 4 episodes, it was starting to feel kind of slow, right? And it's not necessarily that, even though filling it with more action, so to speak, a more intense action might have been good. But for me, looking back on the series, like personally, I would have preferred if it was a case where we filled some of those spots with Glorio's flashback. Because this was an issue I had, not with this episode, it was between last episode 19 and 18, when Gloria was kind of struggling to make the wish. Like, what do? Do I wish them to be adults again? Do I wish for Arinsu to become the supreme demon king with unparalleled magic? And it felt like the struggle he was having, like it felt like there wasn't any true weight to it, because it's not like, okay, we knew Gloria was working with Arinsu, but it didn't feel like he was so neck deep in with Arinsu, and then we had these moments where he had like moments of wavering while he was with Goku and company. It didn't feel like that, so it kind of felt very artificial, very contrived, so to speak, when it comes on to he was struggling to make the wish. What do I do? So I kind of wish, looking back at it, like the series was filled with more stuff with Glorio. And of course, issues with this series you can rectify with future releases, future stuff from the franchise, but it still doesn't really it fixes it, but it doesn't fix it, if you get what I mean. Like the series by itself in isolation, it still committed that sin, so to speak. So that's the thing. I think the series could have done with more Glorio flashback, more build up with Glorio to help with the piercing issues, honestly. That's my 2 cents, because the piercing issues, that's one of the issues that the story has. And I know early on, the next thing, a lot of persons would complain about retcon. Like, to be honest, the retcons and all of that, were they really retcons, really? Really and truly? Because I'm thinking about it, right? A lot of persons want to cry about like the Potara retcon, but thinking about it, and it's no fault of the audience, because it's not like a lot of the mainstream, a lot of us in the audience, so to speak, we aren't necessarily constantly looking for interviews and all of that. And the reason why I bring this up is that, looking back at it, right, the original Potara retcon in Dragon Ball Super originally wasn't supposed to be a thing when you think about it, because if you go back to the interviews that Toriyama and Toyotaro had regarding the Goku Black arc, Vegito Blue was not supposed to be in that arc. That was not in Toriyama's original points. So that was just dropped in for the sake of, oh, it's hype, marketing, yada yada yada. So, is it really a retcon? Really? So, I mean, it's just like the nuance of the production side of things, really and truly. Maybe in Toriyama's head, it just like, he didn't really look back on Dragon Ball Super in terms of certain tidbits when it came on to like Potara and all of that. It's like in my head, yo, I have my original stuff, dog. I'm just gonna roll with it. That's personal what I think happened, honestly. So, yeah, it's whatever. But honestly, the piercing issues aside, yeah, the production value was really good, dog. Like, I don't think there was necessarily. Obviously, I'm not like a anime AG or Forbidden Relics. I think that's his channel. It's not like I'm an animation expert or anything like that. But like overall, every episode was really visually pleasing. Like I didn't have like a issue per se with any episode from an aesthetic point of view. And I hope they carry this into the future when it comes on to Dragon Ball productions because Dragon Ball, I mean, Dragon Ball is massive as a franchise, 40 years, and I think from a production standpoint, ever since like the latter sections of Dragon Ball Super, into the Tournament of Power, the Broly movies, even a superhero movie, like Dragon Ball can look really good. But like Daima overall, it's been really good like every episode. And that was one thing that really helped me personally when it comes on to dealing with the piercing. I'm like, yo, this is like coming out as the early days of Super. This looks really good, honestly. So that's the thing. Oh god, and no, outside of that, like when we got to that first major fight in the series, like the major versus Tamagami number 3, Goku versus Tamagami number 3, yo, that was good. That was good. And the thing that I like about this series a lot of the times, even though they have maybe just a bit of the yada 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 yada, like it feels like with every fight, a lot of the attacks have weight, which is probably on first glance maybe you might not think about it, but then when you compare it to a lot of other things Dragon Ball related, for the most part, it's like, yeah, a lot of the attacks do have weight. And the choreography, man, is like kind of slowing things down so you can actually see the attacks and just showcase the choreography. Like, I think that's beautiful. And I hope they continue that in the future. Like, get creative with it, right? Don't just make it the generic. You can still include the generic yada 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 every now and then in the fight, but and I'm not saying they haven't done that in the past, but it just felt like it was very prominent, very like a focus when it comes on to Dragon Ball Daima. So that's the thing. So yeah. But yeah, when we got to that first fight between Goku and Tamagami number 3, the first major fight, because we had all these small skirmishes leading up to it, and which were good. They look good. They could tease it, so to speak. Especially that Glorio versus Goku one, right? But Goku versus Tamagami, yo, that was beautiful, dog. I'm like, yo, the choreography, Goku using the power pool, yo, that was a breath of fresh air, dog. Like, oh, we haven't seen this in a while. And one thing I will praise this series for, after we're in 2025, right? So we are about 12 years into modern Dragon Ball, which is crazy to say, right? But the point is that after 12 years of modern Dragon Ball, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, Super Saiyan Blue Evolve, Super Saiyan Rage, Super Saiyan Rose. It's a Super Saiyan bargain sale, which was funny at the end of this episode with Goku and Vegeta. It's ridiculous. But it felt like Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 in this series. They felt like they had weight. Like, yo, these like importance, dog, They didn't feel like an afterthought, which was really good too. I'm just gonna sip this cup of Milo. Yeah, so as I was saying, so yeah, one thing I will praise this series for, man, is the fact that Super Saiyans 1 through 3 felt like they had genuine weight. Like, whenever Goku would transform to Super Saiyan or any of the characters, well, like, it's just Goku and Vegeta, right? But especially when they did the whole storyboarding or the choice to even just let their eyes change first and then transform, it just felt like the forms had a presence, you know, like, yo, Super Saiyan, yo, clean, you know? So, I have no complaints. The transformations felt like they had weight. And I mean, even with the second major fight in the series, Vegeta versus Tamagami number 2, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, or should I say Ultra Vegeta 1? That was stupid. Oh god. But yeah, even with that, dog, like Vegeta having his moments in the series, and you know, like I was kind of thinking to myself today, right? Like the whole notion of Vegeta always jobbing, always losing to make Goku look better, quote unquote. Is that really and truly the case? Or has the extended universe of Dragon Ball, the extended non-canon universe of Dragon Ball, just really painted that picture? Or even if that notion is true, does the non-canon extended universe of Dragon Ball, has it kind of just blown that perception to up to some ridiculous extent? You know, I'm just throwing that question out there. But anyway, even if you're going into that series with that notion, right? Like Vegeta in this series didn't really feel cheaped out either way. He got his win against Tamagami number 2. The first Super Saiyan 3 victory in the franchise, right? Basically. So that was good. And of course, for years, persons wanted Vegeta to get Super Saiyan 3. So, I mean, we can't complain, right? We can't complain. So there was that. And of course, I did love the exploration in this series, the lore, yo. Because of course, I think it was episode 11 or 10 where we went to the original planet Namek, quote unquote, within Demon Realm number 2. And we got the lore in terms of the creation of the multiverse. Rhymus, I believe, is the name of the character, and all of that. So, no, there are, despite the continuity issues that I have coming out of the final episode, there are things in this series that definitely link it to Dragon Ball Super. So I guess my previous, question that I was throwing out there, if this is even in continuity with Super, I guess I'm just basically slapping that question away. But anyway, yeah, there are things that link it to Super in the grand scheme of things. So, Toyotaro and whoever else may come in to do content writing wise for Dragon Ball in the future, they have stuff to work with to kind of build off. So there's definitely that. So yeah, the exploration, especially in the early episodes, definitely reminded me of early Dragon Ball. Goku, Bulma going around town to town, intentionally or unintentionally saving people in the grand scheme of things. So there's that. I think what I liked about this series as well, and who knows, maybe it might be just due to the episode count and the runtime overall compared to, say, other Dragon Ball media, it felt like good old Goku. He didn't feel dumbed down. And I know some persons will argue, when it comes on to Dragon Ball Super Goku, right? And it's a portrayal of him being a man-child, for lack of a better term. Some persons will debate it. Oh, Goku was always like this. Oh, he was just busy with one threat after another in the Z era, yada, 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 yada. But I don't know, man. Between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, I felt like there was a balance. And the Super, specifically the anime, it kind of feels like things have just went out of whack. So with that in mind, with Daima, I kind of feel like things were balanced. when it comes down to Goku's character. It didn't feel like overly, oh god, that guy's powerful, I gotta fight him type of deal. But at the same time, it's like they still push that Saiyan thirst for battle with some of that level-headedness that you'd be used to coming out of Z. Like, if you're watching this coming out of Z, like I said, if you just watched the Buu saga and came into it, I don't think you would have much of an issue, if at all, with Goku's character in terms of how it was portrayed with this series at all. So, yeah. I mean, one fine example, I think, is Gomah. And I think it took me for a surprise. Hold on. When Goku said to everybody, like, dogs, let's fight together. I'm like, yo, Goku doesn't do that. So, you know, little stuff like that. I feel like if it was Dragon Ball Super Goku, but no, let me fight him by myself. So, there's definitely that. Definitely. So, that's one thing I appreciate coming out of Daima as well. Now, again, as I was saying, we do have continuity issues. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And looking back on it, I don't think I mentioned this in my reaction review. Like, looking back on those last few scenes, the way how Goku talks, it makes it seem like he had Super Saiyan 4 before. I don't know why they don't acknowledge that Neva was the one that, you know, caused the evolution. That was a bit weird to me in hindsight. Like, you know, why didn't he acknowledge, like, Neva, like, what did you do, etc, etc. So, because Vegeta's talking and like, yo, dog, you had this whole other transformation? And he's like, yeah, I was training, dog. I was training in the hyperbolic time chamber. Well, I didn't say that, but you get the point. So, that was a bit odd as well. I don't know why they did that. You would think they would have a scene with Goku talking to Neva or something, but no, that doesn't seem to be the case. So, that was odd there. And the fact that, you know, the characters are just... At one point, I was kind of expecting Vegeta to say, oh, I'll never use Super Saiyan 3 again. And that didn't happen either. I'm like, okay, cool. So, it's like, yeah, again, the issues when it comes on to tying it into Dragon Ball Super, right? And there are stuff there, but there's things there that you kind of have to question now. Of course, from a real-world perspective, it's just, oh, Dragon Ball Daima came after. They didn't really plan this long term from when Super started. So yeah, but at the same time, maybe you could have written something in to say X, Y, and Z. So it's not. I can't give Toriyama a pass on that one. Sorry. So I don't know. I don't know what they'll do in the future. I don't know if they'll eventually say, oh, it was just a one-off thing where it's... we have some loose connections to Super, but it's not genuinely in continuity with Super. I don't know if they might go that route. Who knows? But yo, like, to introduce Super Saiyan 4, and yo, I felt really good when Goku name dropped it at the end of the episode. It feels like it would be such a waste to have it introduced in the series and for them to not like bring it back, right? Like, why not? Because not for the sake of what some persons are already theorizing. Oh, Super Saiyan 4 versus plus Ultra Instinct Super Saiyan 5. not even for that. Even though that would be wild to see. But yeah, it would be such a waste not to include like these characters. Like bring back the characters from this world. I think Glorio needs to come back and we need to get more from him. Because, you know, what's interesting as well is they revealed earlier in the series that, you know, every Majin can at least do one type of magic. They can use it as a way to expand, like, the combat variety of the Dragon Ball franchise. I mean, we've had magic before, but we can make it a more prominent thing. I don't see why not. Get more creative. I mean, if people believe that, and of course I believe that Dragon Ball can keep going for years and years and years and years and years after this, then why not get creative and bring back the demon realm? Let's do some more magic. I don't know. Make Goku magical. I don't know. Goku versus Superman 4 for death battle. I don't know. Something. But yeah. So yeah, I would expect them to do something. Maybe like I would hope like a tie-in one-shot manga to kind of tie up any loose ends. That's the only thing I can hope for at this point, or like a OVA special, or something to tie things back to Super or the future of the franchise. So that's just my 2 cents when it comes on to that. And yo, I need to see the planet of Giga, because we visited the planet of Mega, and those characters were very much stronger than Cell. So I want to visit back like that planet. They left that open window, like, oh, there's this one place we didn't visit while we were in the demon realm, right? So yeah, we need to go back, man. We need to see the planet of Giga. Yeah. So I can imagine those characters should be like Super Saiyan 3 Goku level on this episode. and thereabouts. Because Goku, as a Super Saiyan, was struggling to fend off a child on the planet of Mega. So I'm just saying, perspective. Perspective. So, and honestly, doing cool. Funny. I know, funny, cringe, whatever. But we could get more of them. King Cool! That actually sounds funny. But yeah, we could get more cool as well. The man's actually hilarious, dog. So, that would be cool. Maybe we can get an actual fusion between Do and Cool in the future. I'm just saying. You never know. Because as cringe, as funny, as seemingly lame as they are, they're actually pretty capable, pretty strong. Because, let's see. Do, at the very least, should be Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 Goku level at this point in the timeline. I mean, he had his own pseudo Super Saiyan 3 transformation. I mean, if he can just, chillax and master that, it sounds weird to say, that would be good. And then if you merge with Cool, which Cool isn't as strong, but it's not like he's weak either. I wouldn't say that. So, the possibilities are endless there, dog. So, just that. But outside of that, like, to be honest, I was not expecting Super Saiyan 4. I was not expecting Super Saiyan 4. Bruh. The only thing I'm sad about, I had caught like a small split-second glimpse of it on the day before episode 18. On the day of episode 18, before I came home to do my reaction review. But I guess the idea that this series really is Toriyama's Dragon Ball GT has some weight to it, because, dog, again, I was not expecting Super Saiyan 4. Granted, design-wise, I still prefer the old one with the black hair, but now I'm kind of trying to imagine the black hair, but with the kind of reddish Super Saiyan God magenta color, like, ends to the hair. Or maybe that would look too... like, maybe that would be too much. But I'm just thinking, I'm trying to combine the best aspects of both. Right? I don't mind the red Super Saiyan Godish hair, but the color contrast with the black and the fur for the original design, I think it just works better. But again, maybe the black hair where the Super Saiyan God ends to the hair, maybe that could work. So, let's skip through. Let's see. Hold on. Oh shit. The banner needs to come over. Hold on. Let's push this over here. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the whole idea to have the black here and then have that the red ends maybe would be too stupid. I don't know. And to be honest, I don't even mind like the big hands. Very inspired by being like a Frieza's gonna have a field day if they ever bring this transformation back. If Frieza sees this transformation, oh god, the jokes are gonna be crazy, dog. No. But overall, I don't mind. I don't mind this. I think it's growing on me. What I will say though, there are some shots in this episode where it looks really good. But yo, this shot here of Goku using the Kamehameha are the primal blazing Kamehameha. Isn't there like a Dragon Ball sticker that has this kind of exact same setup pose? I'm almost certain of it. But anyway, the point I was gonna make, there were some points in this episode where like the character model for Goku looked like straight out of GT with just the red hair. Because the thing is, even though I don't think last episode was bad, there was something about his face, like when he came up off the cliff and like the face looked, it didn't look bad, but it just felt like, almost still felt chibified, even though he was back in adult form. But maybe it's the angular take of drawing Super Saiyan 4 Goku in GT that I'm kind of being spoiled at. Because like right here, yeah, it definitely looks more like out of GT. Versus some shots where his face just seems a bit more in line with, I guess, Toriyama's more roundish, gentle, like modern Toriyama style. Yeah, it's like how his face looks in this shot here. It seems more roundish. It kind of makes him look younger. Like he's still, in his kid body. Obviously that's not the case, but, I'm just saying. Or even like here. Yeah. Here makes it, compared to that last shot that I just stopped on. Yeah. So it's definitely maybe the angles. But yeah, like, the only thing, I still wish Vegeta got Super Saiyan 4. To be honest, I still wish Vegeta got Super Saiyan 4. That's more of a superficial thing, but I'm just saying, it would have been cool to get. So, who knows? Maybe they'll bring it back and we'll have Vegeta Super Saiyan 4 in the future, like officially canon Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, maybe. So I guess we'll see. And then, you know what would be funny? It's like how in in GT, I don't remember what the interview was. I don't remember what the reason was to give Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta red hair. But what would be funny is if Vegeta gets Super Saiyan 4 in the future, and they fuse, and say, oh, let's just do the reverse. Let's give Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta this time black hair. that would be funny. Yo! Honestly. But it is what it is, yeah, man. It is what it is. The next thing that I didn't like was the whole build up with the bugs. Now, again, this is something I expressed in the reaction review that I recorded, but thinking about it, it's kind of 50-50 because they do kind of go back to the store and all of that, but it felt like they were building up the merge bugs, man, for all for us to not get the fusion, especially since I think it was in episode 18 when they were fighting Gomah. Well, they're still kids, and they made extra focus. They made it a point to focus on the bag with the bugs that fell out of Goku's like clothes. So I'm saying to myself, like, what was the point of focusing on it if we're not gonna get, we're not going to get the fusion? Because of course, yeah, you could have had the bag, you could have still had, the medibugs for them to use as sensu beans, but I think it's not a stretch to say that focusing on the bag at that point was hinting at some sort of fusion happening. Maybe Goku and Vegeta. Some persons were theorizing maybe Majin Buu and Ku would fuse, and you would get this Super Buu-esque, resulting fusion, but we didn't get that either. So I'm like, fam, what was the point? What was the point? The only thing that really came out of it, which I don't mind, I wouldn't mind it being the only thing, is that they go back to the store and we have Bulma saying like, oh, she's finding out that, these bugs can make her look younger. So it's kind of like Toriyama kind of building on the fact that, okay, Bulma's gonna be vain, and we need a reason for her to use the Dragon Balls to look younger after she's finished with all these these bugs that she eats. I did like the fact that they had the Tertian Oculus, like they have them on sale. It's so funny to me, dog, because Gomah was so ridiculously powerful with the third eye, like, and the shopkeeper just has them on sale. Like, yeah, it's no big deal. So, yeah, that's funny. I would like for them to revisit it and get to the origins of how she like made them, created them, got them, but I think it'll just stay as like a joke, to be honest. Honestly. But it is what it is. So, yeah. Pretty much that. Pretty much that. Oh, and Gomah, Gomah and Degetsu stuck playing, Sparking Zero for 99 years with no DLC. A fate worse than death. Hey, that rough. I wonder if they'll ever bring them back. Because I actually think Gomah is funny, dog. These exaggerated expressions and all of that throughout the course of the series. Yeah, it's funny. Or they could do some one-shots at some of the games that Gomah and Degetsu are playing. There's like opportunities for them to actually say, yo, okay, boom, boom, boom. Do a bunch of Dragon Ball content here and there. Still sucks that we didn't get Gohan, dog. Still sucks. Thinking about it now, looking at this image with the Tamagamis, because I was theorizing that after Glorio made his wish, that the Dragon Balls would have just went back to the Tamagamis, but they're not there. So that's another question I have now. Where do the Demon Realm Dragon Balls go after they're used? Anyway, questions for another time. So, the thing is, no. No Gohan. No Gohan. Not even in the credits, dog. But I guess that's more or less a reflection of how Toriyama probably feels about Gohan as a character. I can't fight him on that. So, yeah. But it'd be cool to see Gohan. Come on, dog. It goes back to what I was saying earlier where, like, yeah, you made everybody else kids, but you still only focused on a certain subset of them. Like, it would have been cool to get 1 or 2 episodes with these characters' kids. It just sucks that every, like, remedy that I can think of, it just runs to, say, additional Dragon Ball media. Like, we could do a one-shot of the time Gohan got turned into a kid while Daima was going on. We could do a one-shot of this, and this. So, but I guess that has to work. But if any more material comes from this, they definitely need to do like a one-shot or something to tie this even further into Super. Or whenever at some point in time in the future of Super, some callbacks to this, bring back the elements of Daima and bring it back into the future of Super. That's what I will say. So this is what it is when it comes on to that. But I don't know, like again, just coming out of it, man. Like I thought it was really good. I think what I'll do is I'll probably watch 2 videos for 2 YouTubers to hear their thoughts and see what they're saying. So bring you over here, minimize, and we'll jump on to YouTube. Alright, so we do have Master. I'm curious what Tyrone Magnus has to say about this final episode too. Alright, so let's...
What is happening, Magnusites? We have finished Dragon Ball Daima, and I think after that this season, this last episode, I think that I want another season to kind of...
You see, that's basically what I was... Well, not what I was saying, but I was saying maybe an additional 10 episodes would be nice. You know? But another season would be good. I'm not gonna lie.
Cleanly tie up all these kind of loose ends. So, in this episode, we do not get fusion. I could have sworn we were gonna get fusion. Like, yeah, we know the bag fell out of his shirt, but that doesn't mean that someone won't find it. Oh, hey, Goku! You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You don't know that that's not going to happen, that someone's not going to pick it up and they need it. But they didn't do it like that. In this episode, there were callbacks to Broly. Goku had a Broly moment.
Yeah, you know, that was true. Like, when Gomah blasted Goku underground, they might have just bring back the dimension from Dragon Ball Super Broly when Goji and Broly broke the dimensional fabric. Yeah, that was a nice callback.
The power, the sound of his power at one point sounded like old school Broly with those orbs. Like it sounded like that. But anyway, so him and Gomah are going at it. And Goku is beating his ass. I mean, the hits are more savage and primal and Hulkish and Broly-ish, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's the next thing I was saying. Again, the attacks had weight.
You know, Zaru type moves. It doesn't have the finesse or the dynamic energy kind of like of Super Saiyan 3. But it's more brutish, but it does have its own finesse in certain aspects. You know what I'm saying? He's whooping his ass, and he keeps regenerating as usual. So, you know, not Vegeta. Goku eventually powers up, and I love the way they did it. Y'all know, listen, this is one of the reasons why I've always loved anime as a child. Even when I didn't know what I was watching was anime, I've always liked the exaggerated movements of certain things. When they do, you know what I mean? When they're fighting and stuff like that. And I was like, all of a sudden you see Goku's hand. And I was like, this is a comic. I called it while watching it. And I was...
Yo, but now that I did call it because I'm like, yo, I know some person wanted Dragon Fist. I'm like, yo, dog, is he gonna do the Dragon Fist? I'm like, okay.
I was like, yeah, he's about to do it. And when he did it, he blew a hole through Gomah, but he blew a hole through all of the demon worlds. And the ocean came through. And when he was done, the coolest damn detail was he had fluttering, flickering, glittering blue energy on his hands, which I had never seen before.
Like the stare down from this angle after the Kamehameha, yo, that was Yeah, brutally sick, dog. Yo.
Man. But when man look, so once he finally blew the old throwing, Piccolo went to get the 3 hits. I was sitting there yelling. I was like, all right, Piccolo, get the 3 hits. Like, it's time. So, of course, he doesn't get the 3 hits.
Of course.
He gets knocked to the side. And guess who saves everyone? Majin Buu. He hit him in the back of the head 3 times with the book. With that magic book. Glorio. Just stepped on the eye, and that's it. And I was like, what? That's it? What? So I guess they turn. Here's the thing, though. They go into, I guess, loose end tie-ups, kind of. And Vegeta and Goku are talking. And, well first of all, Majin Buu becomes the Supreme Demon Lord, or whatever you call it. Demon King, whatever. And he appoints all these different people as his as his ministers or whatever. But Goku and Vegeta are talking, and he says that he hid that transformation from him. So this.
Yeah, that's the thing I was saying as well. It didn't make any sense in terms of that dialogue between Goku and Vegeta, because it's not like, yeah, we know Goku would be training after Buu, but obviously, based on how the series went, we obviously see that Neva is the one that unlocked Super Saiyan 4. So it was such an odd choice for Goku to say that in the end, like, oh, I've been training. Yeah, we know, but dog, Neva obviously unlocked this form. Like, don't pretend like you had this all along. So that was kind of weird.
This is another callback to Super Saiyan 3. Basically, he says, to the Majin Buu arc with Super Saiyan 3, and he says that, well, Majin Buu was really hard, and tough. So I trained really hard, but I didn't know if it would work. So wait, you're telling me that this old Namek drew it out of you because you refused to use it because you wasn't sure if it was going to work? Is that what happened?
Yeah, definitely need some cleanup there.
Once he drew it out, I was like, well, everybody knows I can do it now. Okay, it does work. Okay, I'll use it again now that I'm an adult. Is that what happened? And then he talks about another, Super Saiyan, bargain sale.
That was funny.
Vegeta's. He's like, hey, but you went Super Saiyan 3 too. And he's like, that wasn't Super Saiyan 3. That was Ultra Vegeta 1. I was like, okay. And it's like he couldn't think of nothing to say. When I first saw it, I was like, is this their way of writing away him not using it? Like it's a ultra version of his 1? Like we know that Super Saiyan 2 and 3 are just powered up versions of Super Saiyan. They're not truly different forms. I think.
Gotta love these ads.
Sign up or switch to Digicel for a chance to win a luxurious all-expense paid trip for 2 to Royalton, Antigua. Every week you could win exciting prizes. Opt in on the My Digicel app. Digicel.
My bad.
Akira Toriyama has said that basically, if they control Super Saiyan 1 perfectly, truly perfectly, they'll never need to go to 2 or 3. You know what I mean? But, so there's that. And at the end, they go back to the store to get more bugs, to regenerate.
Even though I doubt it would happen, I was talking with a friend, it came up in the conversation. What if they use this as a springboard to redo Super? I doubt it's going to happen. It's probably almost 99.99999% sure they wouldn't do that. But just saying.
Like the ones that are like the Senzu beans, because they're running low on Senzu beans. You pull them to find some bugs that actually de-age her 10 years, so she takes a whole basket. But she also had evil eyes for sale. Said she was only managed to sell one. So you tell me that damn Demon King bought one years ago or whatever?
It's so ridiculous.
She's like, hey, would you like one? And they're like, and that's basically how it ends. But I'm like, yeah, buy all of them and bury them somewhere. Lock them away so nobody else can get them. How you got something that powerful for sale in the store?
That's the ridiculous part,
again,
dog.
those bugs are extremely powerful too. So whatever. But we didn't get to see them use fusion bugs. There's got to be a second season. I want a second season. Overall,
Sweet. Millennium Kage. What's poppin', man?
I will give this entire season a 3 out of 5 woos, which is above average entertainment. From what I've seen, comments, and what I've been watching, and the majority of the fans kind of checked out of this. They didn't want them as children. They respected the animation. They thought the animation was great, but people also thought it was slow. They thought the pacing was off. And, you know, it felt like just plot holes being formed here because of where this takes place. We still don't know why he hasn't used Super Saiyan 4 in the Super series. And we don't know why Vegeta has never turned Super Saiyan 3 in the rest of the series, in Super series. Something's up. I think they need a second season to tie everything up, but excellent animation, movie level animation throughout the whole series, especially this episode and ones previously. I mean, I think they have something with this, especially now that they're adults again. I think they can give us something. They can write something to tie it all up in a bow so that it takes care of all of the loose ends and plot holes. So let me know what you all think. I enjoyed myself. I'm going to go through and watch the series again.
In English dub this time.
And yeah. I don't think I really missed anything. I don't think I missed anything, but if there's any details, post them in the comment section and let me know. 10 million subscribers.
Alright, 3 out of 5 from Tyrone. That's not bad. That's not bad. For me, I think overall I would give this series at least like a 6.5, at most a 7. Yeah, I think that's where my ratings lie for Dragon Ball Daima. Like, yeah, I didn't really disagree with anything he said. The continuity issues, I brought that up too. The pacing, I brought that up too. the fusion bugs, I brought that up too. The fact that it could maybe another 10 episodes would have been good, I brought that up too. You know, for him it's more so another season. But you know, overall, yeah, as he said at the end there, I think they definitely have something with this. They just need to continue when it comes on to the production process, you know. Like, just we don't have to like rush out the gate to get something on the market, on the table, yada yada yada. You know, like back in 2015 when after Resurrection F came out and then you heard like Dragon Ball Super's dropping like 3 months later and it's like, yo, we're hype, and then when it starts and then like the quality just dips as soon as episode 5 comes. Bro, oh my god. Daima has been such a breath of fresh air when it comes on to the visuals and the animation, the art. So honestly, dog, like, yeah. And to be honest, I think what needs to happen going forward too is they have so many points they can, you know, draw from to do Dragon Ball content, but they need like an overall continuity, a continuity editor or something. To be honest, because the continuity issues in Daima here aside, right? Like, it's not the first, I don't think it's the first we've had continuity issues, even with the stuff that Toriyama had like a lot of say in. I think Battle of Gods had some continuity issues too. looking back at it, like some stuff with Bulma's age, yada yada yada, some others, maybe some superficial stuff here and there, but you know, so it wouldn't really be the first. But yeah, a continuity editor would be good. Yeah, man, big up, live and gunning. So yeah, a continuity editor would be good. Not gonna lie, because you could do one shots. You can have Toyotaro continuing the manga, yada yada yada. And Toei can continue to do like different animations, maybe some OVAs here and there. But again, we don't know when Dragon Ball is going to continue at this point. After 12 years, we're in the drought. And just to bring it up again, like, it's still crazy to me. This final episode, literally on the day of or the day before the anniversary of Toriyama's death. It's just crazy how the timeline for that lines up, right? That's crazy. Tomorrow makes, well, March 1st makes 1 year. Even though they didn't report it last year, they didn't report it till the week after, but you get the point. So there's that. I don't know, like, what did you guys, like, how do you feel about Daima? Would you rate it like a 6, 7? Yeah, it's more like a 6.5, 7 for me, as I said, but yeah. Can't complain. Can't complain. I was gonna say watch one more, but it's alright. I'll watch those in my spare time for the most part. Still, I'm not gonna lie, dogs. Yo, the episode, the fight itself was really good. That final fight between Super Saiyan 4 Monkey Man versus Giant Man. It's so stupid. Yo, but yeah, it was really good, especially this Broly segment. When them literally, and Nick, well, they aren't literally in the next dimension, but I feel like it was just like a visual choice to like, call back to the Broly movie. Especially, looking at it now again, especially with all the green. Yeah. So, can't complain, dog. Can't complain. But that's pretty much it. You guys will basically get a rehash, refresher, re-emphasis of all my Daima points from this stream in my reaction review that should be going up on either Sunday or Monday. So definitely subscribe and look out for that. I had already said it's our stream. I'm not staying long, but I'm not ending just yet. Don't worry. It has me feeling mixed emotions. Hey, where's the mixed emotions? Jano, grab a glass of wine or rum and drink the feelings away. But I'm curious, like, what kind of mixed emotions are you having? Is it stemming from? Because I'm not lying, like the rendition, the musical rendition of Daima's opening at the ending, and everybody saying goodbye. It kind of tying into the anniversary of Toriyama's death, which is tomorrow. It just, it felt like I came out of the episode feeling good, but at the same time not on a fanboyish level where I'm saying, yo, it still had its issues. But I felt overall like just, yeah man, this was a nice celebration of Dragon Ball in the grand scheme of things. But I'm curious to hear what you have to say, Millennium. Curious to hear what you have to say. See results with Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, same here. But as it stands, Dragon Ball Super is going to be on hiatus. I mean, we did get chapter 104, which personally I haven't read yet, but who knows when we'll get back more Super. Maybe they'll use the rest of the year to just kind of prep, and then maybe for Jump Festa 2026 in December, we'll get some major announcements, which I don't mind too much, because if there's, for instance, like another major animation project, they can use the time behind the scenes to work on it and then announce it at a proper time, so that would be good. That would be good. That's Nightcap Boss rum. Hey, I was just recommending to Millennium. You should probably drink the mixed emotions away. Yo. Yo, I'm not gonna lie, as I would call it, this primal blazing Kamehameha. Yo, it was so sexy, bro. No, no homo. No BMO. Oh god. But yo, it was beautiful, dog. Like, especially after it went through Gomah. I mean, I said it's still going. Oh god. Honestly, if they continue this level of quality, and as animation techniques and just production time like improves qualitatively and quantitatively, like, I mean, Dragon Ball can come back with a bang. The post Toriyama era. This kind of, like, saying it like that kind of makes me think of like how Power Rangers had different eras in terms of ownership, right? So, but anyway, there's pretty much that. It's gorgeous and my personal favorite. The fight was really good and like Daima, it's just lore and the hand waving of events and concepts. Yeah. I think, to be honest, I think everyone's on the same page, Millennium, in terms of the loose ends and certain things in terms of the lore continuity wise that just needed tidying up. But like, just come out of, if we're just basing it on this last episode, like, personally, I thought, and other person's thoughts, like this episode should have been like 30 something minutes, to be honest. Like, if they even decide like, yo, when they were producing it, we'll just wait a month, we'll work on this a month, we have to delay it, or another 4 months, something. Like, I think it should have been longer. I mean, episode 1 is 30 something minutes, if I'm not mistaken. So, and granted, yeah, episode 1 is mostly a lot of flashback for the Boo Saga, but still, like, I'm just saying. Granted, even with that, this episode didn't really feel rushed. That's the thing I like too. It didn't feel rushed all the same. It still felt smooth, but yeah, it could have used some extra time all the CM to just tie up those loose ends. It's just the direction of franchise has said with incorporating things that I find lazy or I've had before, so it's prevalent anymore. Also, you're a Power Rangers fan? Yes, yes, I would say I'm a Power Rangers fan, but I haven't been like invested since. I mean, to be fair, I'm an old man at this point. But I haven't been like super invested in Power Rangers since like Power Rangers SPD, to be honest. After SPD, and even leading up to the Power Rangers SPD, I didn't really watch every episode of every single Power Rangers leading up to that. But yeah, after that, I just kind of just dropped off after SPD. So you can't ask me anything about modern Power Rangers, honestly. In terms of story, lore, I don't know at this point. So, yeah. But, it's just the direction of franchise headed with incorporating that I find lazy, but it's a problem I've had before. Yeah, true. I mean, modern Dragon Ball has been plagued with things that have been a bit more, I would say, superficial. They're for the sake of almost marketing and merchandising, like more so than usual. Because one of the points I brought up earlier in the stream, was like, when I was kind of just going over Daima on a whole, was the fact that, boom, persons were complaining about the Potara quote-unquote retcon. But I'm saying to myself, like, and this is I can't blame us or people in general, like the average viewer, but if you look up the interview that Toyotaro and Toriyama had when it came onto the Goku Black arc, Vegito Blue, like, fusion was not supposed to be a thing in that arc. So what persons would probably call a retcon in Dragon Ball Daima may not be a retcon in the mind of Toriyama when he was writing this, because in his mind he probably is going with the original intent, which was, of course, Boo being inside Boo kind of causes the fusion to dissolve, and maybe it is permanent actually. But that's just me theorizing. But I mean, the interview is real in terms of Vegeta Blue not originally wasn't in the Goku Black arc, but I'm just saying that would make sense. But all in all, Vegeta Blue being included kind of ties into the point we were making here in terms of the marketing and the superficial stuff. Because to be honest, Vegeta Blue should have just ended. In all honesty, Vegeta Blue should have ended all the issues in the Goku Black arc. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm not a power scaler, but I'm just saying. So yeah. Alright, I'm not gonna be on for much longer, maybe 15 to 20 more minutes. But let's just kind of speed through. Alright, so you guys can go back and check out this last hour of me talking about, well, I've been talking about Daima since the start. But solo leveling, dog. Well on. I don't know if you guys have been watching solo leveling, but bruh, right? No, things reach a level, no pun intended. Like, I hear they've been leaving out stuff. I did take a brief glance through of the manual that the chapters that the recent episode is based on, and yeah, there's some stuff they left out. But dog, to be honest, like, solo leveling is just it's just on a level, fam. It's on a level. Let's go back. This last episode with Song Jin-woo versus Baran, beautiful, dog. Of course, I can't just play it like that. I'm sure you guys can touch it on YouTube. But that, it was beautiful. The Rian scenes, action, the power fantasy is too real at this point. Even the last section here, where the man literally... Let me just play. Hold on. Oh yeah, I don't really have any audio playing, do I? Yeah. Yeah, this last section, this man just literally punches off Baran's head. Beautiful. Should end with Trunks slashing Zamasu, because I do like the idea of it being into an... Yeah, I do, like, compared to the manga version of the Goku Black arc, I do like the idea of Trunks being the one to finish Zamasu. But, you know, this is the interesting thing when it comes on to, like, looking back at Dragon Ball arcs after the fact. I'm not a writer. I'm not saying I can do, like, this better job of putting together this story or whatever, but there are certain aspects a lot of the times where you're saying, okay, in a lot of these instances, you could have written something better to justify Trunks being in the position to be able to be the one to, you know, get that final hit in. The time Trunks stays with Vegeta, they could have just, well, let's jump into the time chamber. We've been abusing the time chamber in Super, right? Why not let Trunks be interested in, you know, training and attaining this new Super Saiyan Blue that he's seeing? Let's do that instead of just pushing this random Super Saiyan Ridge in the anime, at least. You know, it's bullshit. It doesn't make any sense, bro. But listen, I'm just saying, I can't bother to get into all of that, though. Issues with Super. But, because what would have been good is that Trunks coming from the Z era, right? We see that he's not like, he doesn't mess around compared to Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, but he doesn't have that martial artist sense, our level of skill. I mean, Vegeta and Goku found out in terms of the weakness of the Ascended Super Saiyan stage, Trunks couldn't realize it. It would have been interesting if we kind of built on him trying to correct his weaknesses as a martial artist, right? You know, some little stuff like that you can throw in. But no, let's just put in random power-ups for no reason. And you know, we as fans can theorize and explain and say, "Oh, he's just saying he probably adapted to the environment." Yeah, but a lot of the times we're just theorizing. There's nothing confirmed by the persons who are writing. So yeah. But on the flip side, on the good side, I hear that Solo Leveling episodes 12 and 13, 1 hour special. Well, you know, with ads, so 40 something minutes. So yeah, and enjoying these fights while I can, because you're right, it needs a lot into performance aspect, but it's still good. Yeah, true. And you know, the good thing is it doesn't feel, what's the term, like Mary Sue. It doesn't, I don't know, man. Like, just seeing the progression of the man is like, yeah, you feel empowered in real life. It's like, yo, I'm a need to level up as well. You know, that's the feeling I'm getting from Solo Leveling, which obviously is the intention. It's a power fantasy. That's what it's supposed to do, right? But it's just done so well where it doesn't feel like, I know Sam gonna win. So, whatever the sense. It feels like, yeah, he still has, obviously, even with this fight with Baron, even if it wasn't for his new companion, I'm forgetting her name, but if it wasn't for her, yeah, he probably would have gotten eviscerated by Baron, honestly. So you still see him struggle here and there. So there's that, which is something I definitely like. But in terms of the studio putting it together, A1 Pictures, right? Bro, they're as the young people would say, they're cooking. So I'm really interested to see how the final 2 episodes for the season are going to go. I really should read the manhwa, to be honest, because obviously after this, maybe season 3 won't drop until next year, January, maybe. Or who knows? Maybe they have the production process well put and we can expect something maybe in fall. I don't know. Who knows? But I guess we'll definitely see. So there's that. But you know, with the whole idea of them kind of pushing or missing out on stuff, I was thinking about this the other day, that maybe with the anime industry kind of pumping out so much anime every season, like, have you watched a Gig Up video and him going through all the different anime for the season? Oh god. So I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe something in the industry needs to change, and the average episode length probably needs to be increased by an additional 10 minutes. Issues when it comes on to adapting material could change as a result of that. Granted, I know there are a lot of other different factors that need to be, you know, considered, like, you know, a lot of these animes are on TV, so there's ad placements and all of that, yeah, like TV slots. But it would be nice if in a world in the future where the average anime episode length could go up to like at least 30 something minutes, you know, that would be nice. So at least when it comes on to doing adaptations like these, we don't have to worry too much about them leaving out stuff. Granted, some stuff will still be left out, obviously, because some things work better when it comes on to the format, like watching versus reading. You know, there's some panels when it comes on to the manga where, you know, there's blobs of text in terms of abilities and yada yada yada. But maybe some of those things could be done with having voice acting being done, all of that jazz. So there's that. But I guess we'll see. Oh boy. I don't really have too much to say about Boruto per se for this month. There was a video I had in mind for the most part, like a video idea regarding the Shinju, but outside of that, not much to say. I mean, most of what I had in mind would have been said from the reaction review stream I did for this chapter, in terms of power scaling and them starting to use other characters, kind of setting things up where I believe Shinki is going to be like a nice counterpart, or one of those counterparts, like say Kawaki in the future once Shinki comes back, etc. But again, yeah, it's just me repeating the points from that stream where, again, it's a shonen battle series, but I feel like for characters that are supposed to be beyond Jigen. It feels hard to to really like say that really is the case. It just feels like I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it. I'm not seeing it. And on the flip side, I'm also not getting a good estimation of how characters like, especially Sarada. I'm not really getting a good sense of how strong they really are. I'm one of the persons that feel like, yeah, she's strong, but I just don't think she's as strong as some persons would say. Sorry, Mello. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I know the things are there. These guys should be stronger than Jigen, and Sarada's there doing her thing. But, I don't know, man. Through this month. I mean, we got a lot of action. There's a lot of setup, a lot of use of the other characters, but yeah, I can understand. But I still thought it was a good chapter, all the same. Still thought it was a good chapter. But I think in terms of the pacing, maybe I think next chapter, chapter 20, might be more the same in terms of how the setup is. Again, like I said before this arc started, I'm not really expecting Boruto to jump in anytime soon. Maybe closer to when someone is going to die, more than likely. Like Konohamaru. So, yeah. Well, I guess we'll see, yeah, man. And you know, funny enough, similar to Dragon Ball, even though the manga is still going on for Boruto, it does feel like almost feels like a drought as well when it comes on to the whole Naruto side of the franchise. But yeah, it is what it is, yeah, man. Is what it is. One thing I will spoil about the video idea I had, obviously when it comes on to what Jura is saying here about love being a harmful effect of intelligence, one thing I was gonna go with is that, you know me, I'm the Kool-Aid guy, so to speak, so I try to look at the nuance of things. When he says love, I mean, yeah, it could be romantic love, but of course there are different types of love, thanks to BetterHelp. Well, referring to BetterHelp here, 8 types of love. So, my thing here, which I'll say for now, is that based on the 8 types of love, maybe we can expect another 3 Shinju to appear, and each of them embody a type of love. For example, you could say Matsuri probably embodies mania right now, a type of obsessive love causing imbalance and dependency, often characterized by jealousy and possessiveness. What does that sound like? What does that sound like? Definitely sounds like Matsuri right now. So that could be a thing, the nuance to it, so to speak. And then that could give you an idea in terms of where each of the Shinju are headed character-wise. So you hear it here. Well, unless Naruto Explained has probably talked about this already, maybe, I don't know. But, you know, I think it's worth a look into when it comes on to the Shinju and their development and where their characters are headed. So, yeah. Pretty much that. But yeah, I guess we'll see. There's nothing really more than that going on right now, like Naruto. I don't think there's any like new Naruto news apart from this whole Naruto joins Google hidden, you know, commands thing, which was kind of neat. I don't know if any of you guys have tried it. So apparently, if you go to Google, and you type Naruto, you should get this pop-up, and then you can play it for Naruto to run across the screen, apparently. Pretty neat. But yeah, apart from that, nothing new, honestly, when it comes on to the world of Naruto. I don't know if any of you guys are trying to storm one mobile version, but so it is what it is. The only thing I've heard courtesy of Another World is that the latest Boruto 2 Blue Vortex volume, the sales are steadily increasing, so we'll continue to watch and see what happens as Boruto goes on. All I'm saying is I'm predicting like a lot of persons, once the anime drops back and if they really approach the production process, listen, I got Daima bias right now, man. Like, Give the anime, give the studios time to work on these things, man. Like the weekly thing, like the super long running 200 plus episode weekly thing, it's not it anymore. We need quality, dog. Quality, and a change in the average anime episode length. That's my take. I mean, what was my last guess in terms of the anime? 2020. Well, you're saying 2028? No, that's crazy. I don't know. I feel like my my answer is always changing. I don't even remember what my last prediction was for the anime return. It's definitely not this year. Definitely not. I don't expect it. I could see it for fall next year maybe. 2027 could work too. But 2028 would be the ultimate sweet spot maybe. Because again, like I keep repeating myself like a broken record, we still haven't gotten the the OG Naruto episodes yet. So when we get those, we can probably have a better idea, because they'll probably make an announcement, or they'll put out an article or a news post regarding what's going to be the update regarding the future of the Boruto anime. So yeah, so that's my take. But anyway, that's all I have for this one. Cutting this short. I would usually go for at least another half an hour on these subscriber streams, but you know, it is what it is. One of those nights. Supposed to be chilling with some friends for tonight, so yeah. But anyway, let me know you guys' thoughts about Dragon Ball Daima. Naturally, I will be putting up my reaction review on Sunday or Monday, one of those two. Solo leveling hype, and yeah, you guys can just let me know your thoughts on a little piece of Boruto, you know, speculation that I had here regarding the 8 types of love. Thanks for better help. So, you know, there's that. But anyway, yeah, man. So I'll see you guys in the next video and or stream. And yeah, stay safe, guys. Enjoy the weekend. Stay safe.